Real sugar honey iced tea. Of course, like the rest of us, pretty much. I did take a look at the video that was released by Kirk Franklin's son. I honestly did not. Actually, I don't have a problem with Kirk Franklin even cussing. That's just called being human. You should try it sometime, Christians. Thank you. Anyways, oh, God forgives you, right? Does he forgive you? Will he forgive Kirk Franklin? Then why are you mad? Anyways, it's just that his son. And I'm kind of looking at this in a way where, of course, Miss Iyanla Vanzant would, pretty much. But I observe more of the situation. I focus on the tone, not just looks, and not just words spewing out and being said. It's just the tone and how they say things. I would not ever in my entire life, and really that's just me, and that's what I've pretty much, like the rest of us, have been taught. I would not ever in my life would ever tell either of my parents to fuck you. I would not ever in my life would not ever say to any of my parents, fuck you. I would not do that. I would not even bother to even cuss at them at all. I would not. Because I know how they are. And I know what they will do if I did. I know that it might have been probably a good handful of times, probably count on one hand, times I've really, because I'm a mother. And I, of course, got hell for it. But I love my mother. And I, of course, either way, definitely respect her. 1,000,000%. And actually, those times, it was just when me as a kid, like, what, probably elementary school, middle school, I was hella bad, so to speak. But then I matured. I grew up. And I took all those lessons that I've learned and applied them to my life. Even though I'm fighting to survive today, I'm still using whatever they taught me. So I'm not mad at all that Kirk Franklin cussed. That was not ever the problem. It's how his son handled the whole thing. I kind of had a similar experience with my father, my biological father. Only that my response was different than his. Yeah, we argued. But did I spew hate? No. Yes, it was on social media, it was on Facebook. My parents wanted me to take it down, so I did. But I understand absent parents. My father was one of them. Even children with absent parents, of course. I was one of them. And I get the abandonment feeling. A feeling of abandonment, hurt, being left out, being neglected. Excuse me. However, there comes a time where you have to know how to deal with that. Even I'm still dealing with it now. The only difference is I'm isolating myself for a few reasons. 1, healing. 2, I'm just really good by myself, pretty much. 3, I just honestly don't think, personally, in my opinion, no one could ever relate to me or this arm. 4, and foremost, I should say, I guess. 4, I love being independent. I love doing things myself. Even the women that raised me taught me independence. I have been on my own for almost 10 years. Barely with any help but to ask for some money, that's it. And to fill out some paperwork. Other than that, I just been on my own, dealing with my own shit and just doing me. But I'm not disrespecting anybody. That's the only difference. Because of what I've been taught. Yeah, my parents talked to me that way too, but it was really out of love. I know that. Of course, I'm not a parent, but I don't have a kid. Right, I don't have a kid right now, but yeah. Don't act like you don't ever cuss around your kids. That's for pretty much most of you. And those of y'all that bump WAP and that type of fucking shit, and not even edited version, mind you, you have no business to talk about Kirk Franklin and his language. That's when in one of my videos, I said, know yourself before you talk about anybody else. Examine yourself first. And see that you're not doing the same damn thing. Or else you would sound freaking stupid. And really sound like you're really part of the crowd. That's why I don't really like crowds. I just don't not ever want to be a part of it. But I digress to Kirk Franklin and his son. Honestly, I honestly feel bad for, honestly, both. The fact that, of course, he has to work to feed you, but at the same time, it's the institution and the genre and the belief that of course, the belief system. I'm more of a free spirit, so just take whatever you fucking can. And excuse me, but yeah. Yeah, the whole genre, music, is belief institution that he's in, I could see why his son would be distant from him and would have been enraged and all. I understand abandonment. I understand the anger behind that and the loneliness, the emptiness that you feel from being abandoned, especially when it's your parents. Even though it was never intended that way, it was never intended to be perceived that way. Still, he was doing his calling. Yeah, and of course Kirk might have made some mistakes. Nobody's perfect. But we all just try to be like him, are we? Are we? No, but nobody's perfect. Are we really meant to be perfect? Are we really meant to be perfect? Or are we meant to be human? Are we meant to be perfect, or are we meant to be human? And there's one last question before I end this video, because it's gone pretty much long enough. But last thing I want to say about that is about Kirk Franklin and his son is that always love your children. Always love your children. Everything that they do, and do not ever judge them. As long as it serves for the positive, and then like you say, the highest good, as long as it's good, as long as it fulfills them positively, you have to really have love and support for your kids. And even when you go away for a while, at least reason with them. Even though they won't understand, the more you are in touch with your kids, even when you're away, the more you're in touch with them, the more they will understand why. The more they will understand out of love why they are doing what they're doing, or why they're out on the road, why they have to travel. And I honestly really feel so bad even adults like Kirk Franklin's son that that has a parent that always on the road traveling, always work. Honestly feel bad because of course that of course leads to abandonment issues, neglect. I know, cuz I know how it feels. I know how that feels firsthand, pretty much throughout my life. I know. And I'm still dealing with it, but the at the same time, I'm healing, but I'm healing my own way. I'm healing just in my own space. And this comes this last question for you Christians that want to judge Kirk Franklin because he cussed. Let me ask y'all this. The Bible does say to obey your earthly masters. Exactly who are the earthly masters we are supposed to obey in the Bible? Leave it in the comments below, if you will, if you know the answer. And please do not lie. You know, God does not like liars. Just saying. Real talk. Real sugar honey iced tea.